Without time and space, there's no stuff.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm saying
Yeah.
the actual world, the actual universe is there is no stuff. Or
Well, I think that quantum physicists would agree with you that like up to
yeah,
99.99%.
yeah,
Like, but there is
yeah.
that 0.0001%. What's that?
No, I think they would agree with me entirely, which is that it takes an observation in their world. They would say the observer creates the phenomenon. It changes, it alters it, it makes it into thingness.
Okay.
And without that, there's nothing measured. So the only way they can connect to that is by measuring it. So the same thing I'm about to say, which is that there is no thingness. It looks to me like, okay, I'm just speculating here,
Of course.
um, because maybe this is an unknowable,
Yeah.
right? There are those things that are unknowable, and this may be one of them. So if the space that I occupy looks to me like the thought forms are actually without substance, they have no quality and no thingness, no substance. They have no substantiation without my the codependent arising of selfhood, me, and object, the thought, and its projection. Like that's how the world gets created over and over and over again. Without that occurrence, the world of thought doesn't have it doesn't have any existence. Okay. So you can see that when you can see that by simply seeing it. You can see the insubstantiation, unsubstantial nature of thought. You can do that in deep meditation. You can do that in, I don't know, just walking down the street.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't take a special
Right.
technique, but most people will have to like strip out all the, neurotic activity that their brains are engaged in to be able to see that. So it's not just an idea. But let's just say you see that. Now you're in this undifferentiated space. That space is constantly manifesting,
Okay.
but that manifestation doesn't have um, any quality to it at all. It's simply energy.
Right. But what
So,
about the viewership?
right. Well, this is the mystery and maybe the paradox
Okay.
is that that space of nothingness
Hmm.
has something in it. There's a paradox there.
Okay.
Okay. So this is where the measurement and the creation of substance comes in. It's like something is in contact with that nothingness.
Okay.
Now, I'm using the word resistance because I don't have a better word.
And
It
I'm
doesn't
using
really,
traction,
yeah,
but maybe
yeah,
it's the viewership. Maybe it's the actual um, perception or the actual um, it's not the right word apprehension
hmm
somehow
hmm
that creates that opportunity.
right. And this is really mysterious because in the universe, which is not has nothing in it at all,
Yeah,
and whatever is arising in it doesn't have time, location, meaning, doesn't have all the attributes that we normally ascribe to reality. Doesn't have
indeed,
that, right?
indeed.
And yet something arises in that, and I think we can call it consciousness or measurement or awareness, okay? But that's a mystery also. Now we're saying a mystery arises in a mystery. So we're in double mystery here.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
the
like,
old Russian doll thing,
yeah, it might
right?
be the end of any conversation about this. Like, let's just go
Okay.
back to religion, okay? Zeus, there was Zeus, and like, out of Zeus came, Athena, and
God came and
yeah,
smote the people.
yeah. So this is where
Yeah.
you go, okay, this is pretty mysterious. I think I'll just have a God, and then I'll convince you that God is real.
Yeah, or I
Okay.
might just start dancing, or I might just enjoy, a beautiful cup of coffee in the sunshine or something. I think that all these things are like you say, mysterious for a reason.
I'm not quite convinced that, first of all, there's a reason for mystery. But second of all, mystery is only relative to like an idea I have, right? That's not matching up with what's the actual. And so rather than go, oh, it's a mystery. I would rather go, well, my ideas may be, not right. Like I'm
Well, they're
convinced.
probably not right.
Yeah. So then if I discard my ideas,
Okay.
now I'm back to the thing itself, which from what I mean, the map that I'm drawing out here, which is that there's nothing, there's the energy of the universe, which is nothing at all. But in that nothingness is this thing where, let's just call it consciousness for want of
All
a better
right.
word, right? Because
Okay.
I mean, look, many people are trying to figure out what consciousness is, and like
They
nobody,
really can't.
nobody can
No,
figure it
I
out.
don't
It's a
really know
really
what it is.
interesting question, which we could
Yeah.
probably get somebody, some philosopher or something on here. But there's something which has its nature is to apprehend. That's what we could say.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, people confuse that with awareness, which is a whole nother storyline. So
Indeed.
let's just say consciousness is somehow occurring in that emptiness. So we could say consciousness is empty. We could say emptiness is conscious. Now, this is where this idea of like the universe is like splitting and like searching within itself or trying to create within itself to find itself. You can see where this idea of or the paradox of emptiness and consciousness could look like two things. And that's simply because we cannot conceptualize it.
Of course not. No.
So this is where I think mutation is perhaps taking place, which is we can begin to engage that quality without trying to connect it to our conditioning, to our conceptualization. And this is where, like you said, you might start dancing. I mean, the brain cells might start moving in a different direction. They might start etching something else. We don't really have language for that.
Right.
We have just that kind of deconstructed realm that we
Right.
find ourselves in.
Yeah.
And we're also aware that the word emptiness and the word consciousness are also words. They're not actually descriptive, right? So we're really
The
like
best we could do at
we're
the
really
moment.
bare bones here.
Yeah,
But
well,
but this is the thing is if we can reside in that space, which is essentially non-dual and paradoxical, both.